The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There's this girl, and right before Yom Kippur, she went out on her 9th date, and it was mamish amazing. She was, my rule is 10 dates, minimum. You don't get engaged till the 10th date. After the 10th date, you want to go 15, 16, 20, I don't care. But no getting engaged 8, 7, 6, 8. That's my thing. I'm into 10 dates, for whatever reason. So she's one of my Talmidot. She went out on her 9th date. The guy's cute. The guy's rich. The guy learns. He's like the perfect guy. So she thinks. Okay? Their 10th date is Motzei Yom Kippur. That's their 10th date. Now this girl went through some stuff in her life. She stands the whole Ne'ilah. She had a Tanis Dibur. She didn't speak the whole Yom Kippur. She mamish davened and cried to Hashem a whole Yom Kippur that the shidduch should work out, and she knows for sure that Motzei Yom Kippur he's proposing. Because they discussed already, she had told him that if she is going to get engaged, if he is going to get proposed, that she would love to be engaged for Yantif, for Sukkot, then she can go to his house and he can go to her house, otherwise they can't, whatever it is. She was very excited. That's it. Motzei Yom Kippur, that's it. Rabbi Wallerstein's rule, 10 days, it's going to happen. So she goes out with him Motzei Yom Kippur. And she goes out with him, and they're in the car, and they had their date, and he pulls up to her house, and she's waiting. She's butterflies in her stomach the whole time. And he turns to her and he says, I thought about us a lot, Yom Kippur. Great. Well, you're supposed to be davening, but okay. Thought about us a lot, Yom Kippur, and I don't want to hurt you, but I just don't have any feelings. I just don't think we should continue. It's just not going to work. Oh my goodness. From the high of highs, from being proposed to, from going into Yantif, engaged, to a smack in the face. What? She couldn't answer him. She was like, okay, good night. She walked out. And of course cried the whole night. Motzei Yom Kippur. I don't understand, Hashem. I don't understand. What'd you do here? There's no way that he was thinking about that before, like Yom Kippur. We were talking muchki, good stuff. It was all good stuff, mushy stuff. There's no way. What happened on Yom Kippur? You punished me for taking a Tanis Dibur, for davening? What did you put into his head? I don't understand you. Her whole plan didn't work out. Didn't work out. She's very upset. She's very tzibrochen. Now let's go to Shemayim. This girl did some bad stuff when she was in her teens. Some really bad stuff. Whatever, never. She made mistakes. She came back, she did tshuva. But there's consequence to everything. And the shidduch that she was going to marry in Shemayim was a very abusive guy. A guy with a temper. A guy that was abusive. Happened to have been this guy that she was going out with. But he hid it very well, because guys know how to do that. And he seemed to be the sweetest guy in the world. But the day after the marriage, he would have started beating her and abusing her and who knows what. Kapara, Gilgul, for whatever reason, why it happened, Gansam Isis. But she stood a whole Yom Kippur, and she cried to Hashem, and she did a Tanis Dibur, and Hashem said, rip up the Gzeira. Rip up the Gzeira. I'm not letting her marry this guy and suffering the rest of her life. Such a girl, such a tshuva, rip up the Gzeira. But you got a guy that's about to get engaged to her. He's standing there on Yom Kippur. He's in love. Go down and get into his head. She's the wrong girl. And the whole Yom Kippur, the Malach's whispering in his ear, nah, you don't like her. Nah, you don't have no feelings. Till finally, Motzei Yom Kippur, he stood there and said, this is not working, it's over. She doesn't know that. So the Torah comes to tell us that in creation, changing your mind, bringing out the sun and taking it back, don't think that's a bad thing. Kol Hashem vayar, Kol Hashem saw everything. Kitov. Changing your mind, girl, sometimes, and you think, he changed his mind, I can't believe it. It's good. Had he not changed his mind, she would have been never married to this guy for the rest of her life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is showing us in godliness perfection that things that don't go the way you planned. The sun didn't come out the way it's planned. The tree didn't come out the way it was planned. Changed my mind. I took back what I put out. It's just as perfect as the things that come out that you planned perfectly.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org